So we're going to start today learning about a simple machine called an inclined plane. And you might know of inclined planes as ramps, which is the more common word for it. So this here's a ramp, and we've got a block underneath it that's about 6.5 centimeters high. So if we put our car here on the top of the ramp, I hope you guys can agree from your own experience that if we let it go, it'll roll down the ramp and slide along and roll along the table for a certain distance, depending on how high it is. And we say it's converting its gravitational potential energy, so how high up it is, into kinetic energy, its rolling energy. And if I change the height of the ramp, the steepness of the ramp rather, but still release it from the same position, so it's still being released from 6.5 centimeters up, it's still going to be doing the same conversion of gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy. Now, how we use it as a machine is when we're going up the other way. So we can do work using this machine. We're used to thinking of machines as having moving parts, but in fact, a machine in science is anything at all that enables you to do work, that is, change something's energy, but do work with less force, but you cover a long distance while you're doing it. So I want you to consider here the height of the ramp is the amount of work that you're doing. Okay, and the steepness of the ramp determines how much force you have to apply. So if we were here and we were going to walk up this ramp, it would take less force to walk up this ramp because it's nice and shallow, but we'd have to walk up the whole distance, the whole length of the ramp to get up to our 6.5 centimeter finishing point. On the other hand, if we take our ramp and we make it steeper, so we're still only coming up to here, we're still only coming up 6.5 centimeters, but as we're walking, it's going to take so much more force to walk up this steep slope, but we'll only have to cover half the ramp. We won't have to walk all the way up it. And that's at the heart of deciding how machines work, is, you know, how much force can you apply, or in your particular example, is it better for you to have a shallower ramp, a longer distance and less force? And you'll see this in things like when people are deciding how steep a ramp should be into the house for wheelchair access, or if you're going up a hill, you know, if the hill's really steep, the road will wind backwards and forwards up the hill instead of going straight up it. And that's to do with this, the idea that you can do some work, be lifted up in the air, in this case. You can do work with less force, but you cover a greater distance to make that happen.